Hi guys, and welcome back to my Evilness podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. We will be talking about the true crime case of William Tyrrell. So disclaimer, this is a missing child case. So if that is not your cup of tea or may trigger you, this might not be the best one to listen to. And also no more part 1, part 2s, because yay, I upgraded. But let's see how the editing process goes with that, because I might go back to doing parts because it's quicker to edit and get the podcast out to you guys. But anyway, here is today's true crime case. So William Tyrrell was born on the 26th of June 2011, and I did actually read somewhere, whether or not it is true, but that William was actually the nephew of 5 Seconds of Summer guitarist Michael Clifford. Not that that really has much relevance, but anyway. So, on the 12th of September 2014, in the quiet New South Wales town of Kendall, 3-year-old William Tyrrell was happily playing in the yard at his grandmother's house. Mere metres away, in the kitchen, his grandmother and his foster mother were making a cup of tea. Now, I just want to point out as well, at first, when William went missing, it wasn't stated that he was a foster child. Not sure why, but that was kept quiet for a while. But they were totally oblivious to the fact that this would be the last time that they would ever see William. It was at about 10:30 a.m. William was dressed in his favourite Spider-Man costume. He was outside playing Daddy Tiger, climbing trees and roaring when he jumped off the deck and ran around to the side of the house, recalls his foster mother. Only moments later, she realised that she could not hear William anymore, so she went to investigate, and what she found was, well, nothing. William was nowhere to be seen. As fear quickly set in, William's family started searching the house, swiftly broadening their search to the surrounding neighbourhood. At 10:57 a.m, William's foster mother called 000, launching one of the longest police investigations in Australian history. But almost 7 years on, notwithstanding a comprehensive and ongoing police investigation, a record-breaking $1 million reward for information regarding William's whereabouts, and a number of reported sightings, as well as false leads and rumours over the years, William is still missing. In the days that followed William's disappearance, police and more than 200 volunteers vastly searched the area, both on foot and from the air, hoping to find any sign of little William. Although it was initially thought that William may have wandered off into the surrounding bushland whilst he was playing, despite his foster father telling authorities that he never wanders, an inquest held on the 25th of March 2019 divulged that at the time of William's disappearance, his biological parents were trying to regain custody of William and his sister, and they were having occasional supervised visits. At the same time, however, the foster family had been looking into legally adopting the two siblings, which led the police to focus a lot of their inquiries on the biological parents in the hours following William's disappearance. However, CCTV and mobile phone records were just a couple of things used that quickly eliminated them as suspects. Not to mention the fact that they were actually in Sydney at the time of William's disappearance. The Foster family were also quickly ruled out as suspects. It was soon clear to the police that foul play had to be considered. Specialist forces, including the Child Abuse and Sex Crimes Squad, formed Strike Force Roseanne and began speaking to locals in the days following William's disappearance. In January of 2015, only a few months after William had vanished, a washing machine repairman, Bill Spedding, became of particular interest to police, as he had been in the Kendall house to carry out some work just a few days before William disappeared. Eventually he was cleared. He was out having coffee with his wife at the time that William had disappeared, and then attended his grandson's school assembly, which, while he was at this assembly, there was a confirmed sighting by another parent called Gordon Weigald, I believe his name is. But he is still one of the highest profile names to be associated with the case. He revealed to ABC's Four Corners in 2019 that being falsely accused has shattered his life. In March of 2015, the homicide squad was called in to search thick bushlands at Bonny Hills after a tip-off that William's body may be in that area. Then the truth hit like a ton of bricks. William had most likely been abducted. When bones were discovered during this search, investigators hoped that they had found a lead, even if it was a devastating one, that might provide William's loved ones with some answers. But these bones were eventually identified as animal bones. There were reports investigated of a pedophile ring operating in the area in April, but there had been no progress in finding William's whereabouts. Throughout this, William's foster parents never gave up hope. If someone has him and if he's alive, I want someone to be looking after him, William's foster mum shared in a statement made through police. Because to think that something else is going on, we can't live a life like that. Over the following years, the family continued to make heartfelt pleas for help to the public. Please don't give up on our boy, they implored in a statement on the 26th of June 2015, which would have been William's 4th birthday. You have to help us bring him home. We wish, we pray, we cry every night for him, they said. In September of 2015, police seized a white station wagon that matched the description given by William's foster mother of a car that she had seen in the street the morning that William had disappeared. She had seen two cars, both dirty, with missing hubcaps and tinted windows, and later recalled another car that had driven past as the children played, the male driver looking her in the eyes as he passed. I can't tell you how much I racked my brain and beat myself up for not looking at number plates, she told the 2019 inquest. But the investigation seems to have gone cold. Even the largest reward in New South Wales history, $1 million, could not tempt anyone to come forward with any viable information. Someone knows what happened, former Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jublin, who was head of the investigation, said in a statement to Who magazine. They might not be the one who took him, but they know who did, and they're potentially concealing a criminal offence. By 2017, police had another person of interest on their radar, Paul Savage, who had lived across the road from William's grandmother's house where William was last seen. Police questioned Savage numerous times and even theorised that he or his wife Heather, who died in 2015, might have accidentally ran over and killed William, and that Savage helped his wife to hide the alleged accident. Savage denied any involvement in William's disappearance. However, Savage found himself under intense scrutiny. as investigators hid listening devices in his house and planted a Spider-Man costume, like the one William was wearing when he disappeared, in nearby bushland, secretly watching to see Savage's reaction to seeing it. In a July 27 diary entry that was shared in court, Savage said, or wrote, "It was about the right size for William. Hope it helps the police find the little bloke." But Savage didn't report the muddy Spider-Man costume to police until the following day. Savage also regularly talked to himself. Detective Sergeant Laura Beecroft revealed in court in February of 2019. "You're just a little boy. You're nobody," he was recorded saying in July of 2017. Also seeming to refer to a Sydney suburb close to where William's family had lived. In another recording from August 2017, he said, "Don't tell anyone, love. They're right after me. Sorry." It was thought that Savage was talking to his late wife. However incriminating these recordings may sound, they came to light during a case against former detective Gary Jublin, who was charged with illegally recording 4 conversations with Savage, which I'll explain in a little while, so we don't go off track. But Savage was never charged in William's disappearance. Detective Sergeant Beecroft explained during Jublin's trial, "I couldn't prove he was involved beyond reasonable doubt. There was nothing concrete to put Mr. Savage in or out." Though Savage is no longer considered an active person of interest, hundreds are, convicted pedophile Tony Jones came under investigation in 2018 when a burnt-out car that resembled the make and model he used to drive was discovered in bushland near Kendall. Jones gave many conflicting alibis for his whereabouts at the time William vanished, but these were disputed. By the time that Jones appeared at the 2019 inquest, he claimed to not remember his whereabouts the day that William disappeared. "I have no recollections, none whatsoever," Jones told the court when questioned in court on his movements. "And I'll be honest, if I wasn't scrapping, I was probably sleeping with Debbie is his now ex-wife, friend from next door." Jones denies any involvement in William's disappearance. Almost 4 years after William was last seen, New South Wales police began ramping up to perform another extensive forensic search in the bush near Kendall. But again, no new leads were found. It did, however, prompt William's biological grandmother, Natalie Collins, to speak out, begging to be left to grieve in peace. "This is just opening our wounds for us," she told News Corp in a statement. "They're never going to find William. You're just wasting your time. He's dead." On the 19th of December of 2018, New South Wales Police announced the coronial inquest, which had more than 15,000 pieces of information and evidence relating to William's case to scour through. Some documents from the inquest found a number of persons of interest. One of these people was convicted pedophile Frank Abbott. Abbott was arrested in November 2019 while in jail on an unrelated matter after numerous accusations which have since been made public. 2 young boys had told their babysitter, who cannot be named for legal reasons, that they knew what happened to William, the court heard. He said, "I know who killed William," the young carer said of one of the boys. They added that the brothers were scared that something was going to happen if they told anyone what they knew. But they insisted Abbott had killed William and buried him in a suitcase and that William was dead, but they hadn't seen the body. The court also heard Abbott had told locals that he knew where William was buried, suggesting William's body could be found on a local property belonging to Jeff Owens. "He was telling everyone in Kew," said Danny Parrish, whose family owned the property at Herons Creek where Abbott was staying at the time that William vanished. Herons Creek is about a 12-minute drive from Kendall. Kew is also another nearby town in New South Wales. So local shopkeeper Jan Anderson said that Abbott was obsessed with the case and used to complain to neighbours about a dead human smell near his house. Jan's brother Dean told the inquest, "We said it's probably a dead animal, a kangaroo." He said, "Nah, I know the difference between a dead kangaroo and a dead human." I said, "How would you know what a dead human smells like?" Jan added that when they suggested that he takes this to police, he said, "I'm not going to do that, because if there's something up there, then I'll get blamed for it." In June of 2019, a new search was started in the Herons Creek area with sniffer dogs and SES crews helping to find any clue that might be linked to William. But this search did not find anything that related to William. Abbott has never been charged with William's disappearance but remains a person of interest. However, a deathbed confession from a friend of Abbott's, Ray Porter, admitted to driving Abbott and a cute little boy north. Ray said he picked up his best mate, Abbott, at Kendall School. His aged care nurse, Kirsten Okpegbu or something like that, she said, adding he was distressed when telling her this. Behind the school was a shed. From there they drove 300 kilometres north. In a statement made to police, Kirsten relayed Porter's words. "I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was give my best mate and the boy a lift." He described the boy as the boy who went missing down in Kendall. When asked if he was talking about William Tyrrell, Ray Porter gave a simple yes. William would have turned 10 in June this year, and as of today, his case still remains unsolved. I should mention the foster family, never revealed their identities. They said to protect William's sister, who was still in their care, which I guess is understandable. And back to the police officer that was charged. Basically, he was taping conversations with Paul Savage when he was a person of interest in 2007 and 2018. This detective was Gary Jublin. He was the head detective at the time on the William Tyrrell case, and he was charged with making the recordings unlawfully, which led to his removal from the case and also his resignation. These recordings were not covered by surveillance warrants, hence him being charged. And in April of 2020, Jublin was found guilty of the charges and given a $10,000 fine. And he now hosts a podcast called I Catch Killers. But yeah, that is the case of William Tyrrell, and hopefully one day we may find out what actually happened to him. But at the moment, we just don't know. But thank you so much for listening. I'll try and get another one done really soon. Have a great day. Bye.